Well, I haven't done one of these in over a blasted year, and I must apologize. I really haven't touched on this series much, mostly because I got into obsession with Fate Grand Order, and it's kind of hard to interpret events, especially now that we have a new anime which has new cards which go off the manga storyline, which is going to get even more complicated since, thanks to the new set coming out, there apparently has been a misconception that Messiah had her own versions of Xeroth dragons. I'm gonna have to go back to that, and I know it. Oh man. Oh, this is Diablo's kind of breaking into this part of the video. Messiah's dragons that she created are called primordial dragons. And if you want down in the comments later, I will make a video on them as soon as they all get revealed. So, ciao. So, anyway, I'm gonna have to set some rules here. 1. Any manga related card or V-series card, I will not be going over the lore. For example, when there's one interpretation of how things went down is that Blaster Blade you gained the power of absolute light and became Blaster Blade Exclate, and basically defeated Phantom Blaster Dragon, and he reformed into Gust Blaster Dragon. We're not going with that because those are manga exclusive cards and or part of the V series, and technically you can see that happening because the V series seems to have more in touch of what's going on with Planet Cray. Especially the last episode, it was kind of cool seeing Ezel and Alfred working together. Number 2, if there's any misconceptions or if anything I'll get wrong, and if y'all point it out, I will fix it in the video afterward, because some of these lores are kind of confusing, especially when we get later down the series. Speaking of later down the series, number 3, if you have not watched the original series, I am definitely going to go to spoiler territory, because the more later the series we get, the more intertwined everything kind of gets. Just doesn't tell you. Specifically the G series, which I will have to cover, because we did kind of cover it later. So, if I remember correctly where we left off, because I had to watch that embarrassing video. Yeah, I know, I need to write scripts, and I've been doing that, and I've been kind of working out my stuttering, so I appreciate the criticism. I take it extremely well. Extremely. So, where we left off was the supposed creation of both the United Sanctuary and the Dragon Empire. Since, considering some sources say Gizeh made his Xeroth dragons off the Six Nations, but some of the Six Nations didn't pop up until after Gizeh's defeat, we're going to still lead that to I have no freaking idea. So, during the Great Civil War, what happened at the Grand Sanctuary before it divided into the Dragon Empire and the United Sanctuary, there was a great majestic guardian dragon known as Thingsaver Dragon, who awfully looks familiar to a particular ace unit to a particular clan. I'll be honest, what I'm about to say I didn't realize until like after the Legion series. Way after, when the first issue of Arc Sanctuary Dragon came out. So, well, this poor little sap looked into the hearts of men and saw what was there, and I believe pierced into the void. But you know what they say, you peer into the void and Gizeh will peer right back into you, making you a pawn into his continuous plan to try to get out of that dimensional pocket Messiah stuck him into, which ended up corrupting our poor little silver dragon into Phantom Blaster Dragon, the mighty dark dragon that likes to kill people to gain power. So during this time, the United Sanctuary only had 3 clans: Oracle Think Tank, Royal Paladin, and Angel Feather. Before anyone asks, yes, Angel Feather did not come out officially as a clan until the second season, but they did not say that they were formed during that time period. So I have no conclusive idea when this clan was formed. So I'm assuming, like the Narukami clan, they were basically in the background being nurses during this time period. Well, Phantom Blaster Dragon got a bunch of recluses that are running from the United Sanctuary. I'm figuring that Alfred was kind of like a church Butarian organization. Those who were witches and those who were mercenaries were kind of hunted off, and I'm assuming executed. Hey, even though this is a children's card game, things get dark later down the line. Like, legitimately dark. Like, someone getting revenged because someone killed someone's brother dark. Hint, hint, cough, cough, probably a year from now. So, yes. Now, one of these particular members of this new clan, which has been called Shadow Paladins, was a guy named Blaster Dark. Now, I have no idea who he was before becoming Blaster Dark, but I do know his backstory. You see, when Blaster Blade took the Sword of Courage which was the blaster armament that belonged to Fetus, I swear that's how the name's pronounced in the anime, and I'm still laughing about it. So yes, I do watch the anime, I'm just not going to watch all back through the original series. So, yeah, our friend got jealous and desperate, and in an own fit of rage, went over to Phantom Blaster Dragon. Phantom Blaster Dragon gave him the power of the Sword of Determination, the Sword of Darkness. There go, making the Shadow Paladin organization. For a while, naturally, these two concurrent forces were always battling. Well, beyond them, a mysterious force decided to invade planet Cray. Everyone calls it the Void. Later on, we find out that the Void is basically Gizeh hovering his influence over everything. You can't seem to get rid of him. So, majorly, the most major incident that happened was when Planet Cray was attacked with the Void, is one particular incident. The clan Aquaforce being captured and just going missing. Now, if you remember, I was talking about a certain admiral from my last video. In the second season, yeah, we're jumping around here for a bit. The character Leon said Aquaforce dominated Cray with the Iron Fist. And then they didn't. And then the clans basically let him got captured. I don't think that's entirely the case from what we know with our certain admiral friend. I think what happened was, because this does happen in the anime when Takuto, who we find out is Ezel, reveals what's going on Cray. You see, everyone was kind of at a meeting trying to determine what to do with the Void. The Void is attacking. And they couldn't figure out what banner to fly under. Not even joking, I will probably have the clip playing in this video. Blaster Dark refused to be under the banner of light, and Blaster Blade refused to be under the banner of darkness. I'm pretty sure everyone at the meeting are sitting there shaking their frickin' heads. Because if this is the case, the only reason I think Aquaforce got captured was everyone was too busy at this meeting having this bloody argument. So, this is where we introduce the anime a lot more. I skipped a whole lot in the anime because I'm not doing a review on the anime itself. In the first season, second arc, you have a certain character named Rin Shizumori, one of my favorite characters in the entire anime franchise, who wields the Shadow Paladin deck, which also I'm going to reveal an anime plot point known as the ability Psycholia. Since I know at least half of you don't watch Cardfight Vanguard, I'll explain it in the simplest terms. Psycholia is kind of like a drug that gives you the ability to predict the future in a card game fight. What is explained that it does is it tunes certain card fight players to the actual planet Cray itself. so that the card game, what's happening in real life, is happening there. Particularly with the main character Aichi Sudo with his Royal Paladin deck and Rin Suzugamori with his Shadow Paladin deck. That was the main plot line, to basically get over this dilemma so they could fight off the void. Meanwhile, Gize is probably sitting there eating popcorn going, why the fuck haven't I won yet? So, now that you know that, we go on to what's happening current. During the fighting between Shadow Paladins and Royal Paladins, Dragonic Overlord got aggravated, realizing that Phantom Blaster Dragon's motives seemed a little bit off. He uses the power of a forbidden dark art, turning his flames into his own life force, and uses it to upgrade himself, to try to put a stop to Phantom Blaster Dragon, making him evolve or digivolve into Dragonic Overlord the End. During this time period, it was kind of the climactic arc of the series to where Kai was fighting Ren, and there's this cute music video I'm going to kind of steal since I'm not really popular anyway and put up here to pretty much explain this. So, Ren beat Kai, even though technically in card standards it was Overlord the End that was the better card, but because anime logic, Ren won. So, yeah. And we find out why the three pop stars are with Taikudo. You see, like I said, I'm going to have to implement some of the anime in this. The three pop stars who work for Taikudo, first Visa, which also technically worked for Ezel, kind of gave him said card to be the ultimate power of darkness. Meanwhile, it was just Gize fucking with everything and getting Phantom Blaster Dragon upgraded so he can continue this petty crap, so that Gize can take over. At least that's how I'm interpreting everything now that we know that Gize is the void. So, yeah, Phantom Blaster Dragon kind of, or Phantom Blaster Overlord, sorry, because now he's that, defeated Dragonic Overlord the End very badly. Oof. Well, during the previous scuffle, a previous episode, interpreted Kai using Aichi's deck to snap Aichi out of it, because for a while Aichi went totally emo and started using the Shadow Paladin deck. And long story short, Blaster Dark looked at their leader and pretty much got tired of themselves being killed off to save its power, and realized that his leader was a complete and total psychopath.
Damn, charging lance! Shadow erosion! All that remains.
So after a duel that Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark had, which Blaster Blade won, he reconciled with Blaster Blade and decided to work with the Royal Paladins to team up against Phantom Blaster Overlord. This is the pin-epical of Season 1, where Aichi versus Ren happens. And pretty much Aichi was told you could either pick light or darkness, and Aichi subconsciously picks both. So I'm thinking if they did pick light, who's willing to bet that it would be Exploit the Blaster? Just raising their hands. Come on. Anyone? Oh well. So, yeah, Aichi gets a new card called Majesty Lord Blaster. What happened on Cray was Blaster Dark, Blaster Blade, and Alfred were pretty much getting their butts handed to them by the giant Phantom Blaster Overlord. So Blaster Dark, as in reconcilement and atonement, gave Blaster Blade his sword, which is an equivalent of giving him his life. This is a really serious moment, which allows Blaster Blade to evolve into Majesty Lord Blaster. Had to go look up the name because we're getting Majestic Lord Blaster soon, and they're different cards because manga reasonings. Like I said, this is kind of getting difficult now. And with the power of both light and darkness, power of both determination and courage, Phantom Blaster Dragon was promptly defeated. With no real leaders, Blaster Dark took on the role as Grand Master of the Shadow Paladins. He did not become a Royal Paladin again. So, after becoming leader of the Shadow Paladins, he teams up with Kagura's Dragonic Overlord and his rival Blaster Blade to build an army to stop said void. And they become the most powerful army on Cray. I mean, I don't see anything bad ever happening to this army. I mean, it's not like anything horrible would come to pass. Would it? Prepare for the quest of the beast armors.